Hey guys, today we are going to be working on what's called elapsed time or trying to figure out how much time goes between one time or another. This is lesson 10.7, so make sure you have your packet in front of you and your reference paper, along with your whiteboard if you think you're going to need it or not. So, starting here with step one, we're going to figure out 200 minutes is how many hours and how many minutes. So, looking at our reference paper, the first thing we've got to figure out is are we going from big to small or small to big? Well, minutes to hours, we're going up. So we're going from small to big. Anytime we go from small to big, we're going to divide. So 1 hour equals 60 minutes. And that's 1 hour equals 60 minutes. So we have 200 total minutes, and we're going to divide that by 60 because we have 60 minutes in 1 hour. And if we take 200 and we divide it by 60, we are going to get 3. It's going to be 180. I'm going to subtract and get 20. We're going to have 3 remainder 20. So my answer is 200 minutes is going to be 3 hours and 20 minutes. So 200 minutes up here is going to equal 3 hours and 20 minutes. Next part, step 2, here at the bottom of that section, says compare, right? Less than, greater than, or equal to blank hours. So it would be 3 hours and 20 minutes. Well, which one is greater, 3 hours and 20 minutes or 4 hours? Just from the top of our head, we should know that that would be 4 hours. Now, we are not going to go any further on this page. We're just going to go ahead and continue forward to the next one. So it says, try this. Jill spent much of her summer away from home. This is at the bottom of page 623. She spent 10 days with her grandparents, 10, 9 days with her cousins, 9, 22 days at camp. How many weeks and days was she away from home? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add all these together. 0 plus 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4. She was gone for 41 days. So 41 days she was gone there. Next, it says how many weeks and days was she gone? So we know how many days. We know how many days we have. So we got to figure out how many days are in 1 week. Well, 7 days are in 1 week. So again, I know the days. I'm going to weeks. I am going from small to big. And if we go from small to big, we are dividing. As always, dividing. So we know that 7 days are in a week. So we're going to take 41 days, divide it by 7, and we are going to get 5, remainder 6. So Jill was away from home 5 weeks and 6 days. Again, the math should not be too difficult for us. That's pretty easy math. The biggest thing that we need to figure out, are we going up to down or down to up? So now let's talk about hours, and let's talk about how we can do this. And this will be completely up to you guys. What I don't want us to get into the habit of doing is stacking and adding on top of each other, because we use a base 10 system. This is going to be a base 6 or 60 system. I don't want to do that. So let's talk about some different ways here. And I am on page 624. So Monica spent 2.5 hours working on her computer. If she started working at 10:30, what time did Monica stop working? Well, first thing we need to figure out is we have 2 hours, and it says 2.5 hours. Well, 1/2 hour is 30 minutes. So Monica spent 2 hours, 30 minutes working on her computer. So we're starting at 10:30 down here. So 10:30 is our start time. And this example wants you to use a number line. This is how I do it in my head when I am actually doing elapsed time, but it also works to see it. So 1 hour. So here we go. So starting at 10:30, I'm going to do 1 hour. 1 hour from 10:30 takes me to 11:30. So that's 1 hour gone. I have 1 hour and 30 minutes left. So I'm going to go another hour, and that's going to take me to 12:30. Right? It's 12:30. And then I have 30 minutes, right? So I'm done with my hours. Now I have 30 minutes. So I'm going to do plus 30 minutes, and I'm going to add 30 right here. And 30 minutes is going to take me to 1 p.m. So Monica stopped working at 1 p.m. All right. Looking at this a whole nother way, we can use a clock. So essentially, it says she started at 10:30. 30 minutes is going to take us to an hour, which would take us to 11. And then we have 2 hours left. So we would go from 11 to 12, 12 to 1. Same thing. We're going to continue getting the same answer, which is 1 p.m. All right. So let's try this. Unlock the problem here, or try this. Robert's soccer team needs to be off the soccer field by 12:15 p.m. Each game is at most 1 3/4 hours long. What time should the game begin to be sure that the team finishes on time? Now, big thing here is we have a start time, so we know that they have to be off by 12:15. Games are an hour and 3/4. Sorry, 1 3/4 hours long. So we have to go backwards. Start at 12:15, take away 1 hour and 3/4 minutes. So what time should the game begin so that they finish on time? The first thing they ask you guys to do is 1/4 hour here equals 15 minutes. So if 1/4 hour equals 15 minutes, 3/4 hour equals 45 minutes. So 45 minutes earlier than 12:15 would be 11:30. So 45 minutes earlier is 11:30. Then we would take another hour off. So 1 hour and 45 minutes from 12:15 would be 10:30. So the game needs to start at 10:30. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the next page. Here, I want you guys to convert. Well, actually, you're going to convert these on your whiteboard. Once you're done converting all three of these on your whiteboard, I want you to stop, resume the video so you guys can check your answers. So go ahead and pause this, try to convert these on your whiteboards, and let's see how you do. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and check and see how we did here. The first one we have is years and days. So if I'm looking at years to days, I'm going from big to small. Anytime I go big to small, I'm multiplying. So 1 year equals 365 days. So if that's true, then 3 years equals how many days? That's what we're trying to figure out. So now we're going big to small, so we're multiplying. So I've got to take 3 and multiply it by 365. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry my 1, it's 18. 19, carry my 1, and that is 10. So 1,095 days. So 3 years equals 1,095 days. All right. Oh, I apologize for that. Let me go back. So this time, let's check and see how many 208 weeks equals how many years. Well, if I'm looking from weeks to years, I'm going from small to big, which means I'm dividing. There are 52 weeks in 1 year. So we have 208 weeks equals how many years? So we have to divide here. 208 divided by 52. So I'm going to take 208, divide that by 52. 52 is going to go into there 4 times. That's going to be 208. I get 0. So 208 weeks is going to be 4 years. And then the last question here, and this one got a little bit more difficult for us, is this. 350 minutes equals how many hours in minutes? So first things first, I've got to figure out, am I going big to small or small to big? We'll look at my reference paper, minutes to hours. I am going small to big, which means I am dividing. So 60 minutes equals 1 hour. 350 minutes equals how many hours? So I've got to do 350 divided by 60. And just from the top of my head, you guys may have to add this, multiply it, whatever you need to do to figure this one out. The numbers do get a little big here. And on your fluency, I will let you use your calculator because of that. But 60 goes into 350. What was that, 5 times? And that would be 300. And I have 50 left over. So 5, remainder 50. So 3 hours and 50 minutes would be 5 hours and 50 minutes. All right, guys. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to go ahead and move to numbers 1 through 8. 1 through 8, you guys are going to do those. Pause the video. Once you finish those, I want you to come back, check your answers, and then you guys can get set off on your own. All right, guys, here we go. 540 minutes equals how many hours again? So 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Or sorry, 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So I'm going to take 540, divide that by 60. I am going to get 9. 60 times 9 is 540. 0, so 9 hours. 8 days equals how many hours? So I've got to know that 1 day equals 24 hours. I've got to take that 24, multiply it by 8. Because I am going from days to hours, I am going from big to small. I am multiplying. 8 times 4 is 32. 16, 19, 192 hours. And then lastly, I have 110 hours is how many days and hours. So I need to know that 24 hours equals 1 day. So 100, go back forward here, 110 days divided by 24. Well, 24 is 24, 48. There's at 96, so it's going to be 4. 24 times 4 is 96. So I subtract it, and I'm going to get 14. So we're going to have 4 days and 14 hours. All right. Moving on to the elapsed time here. We have start time at 11. This is number 5. I skipped to number 4, so we're starting at number 5 here. Number 5 is this. We are going to start at 11:38. Let me mark this real quick. This is number 5. This is going to be number 6. We're starting at 11:38, and we have 3 hours and 10 minutes. They're going to elapse, which means they're going to take place. So I'm going to start at 11:38, and I'm going to add an hour. So add an hour. I'm going to go to 12:38. I'm going to add another hour. I'm going to go to 1:38. Add one more hour, and I'm going to go to 2:38. And then I'm going to add 10 minutes, and it's going to go to 2:48. So 2:48 p.m. So I added, again, I had to add 310 minutes. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and then there's my minutes. Now this one, we have to go backwards. So we're going to start at 1:15, and we have to take away 2 hours and 37 minutes. So this one gets a little difficult. Man, I don't know why that keeps doing that. So I'm going to take away 2 hours here. So minus 2 hours. Well, I start at 1. I'm going to go back to 12 and then 11:15. So we're going to go back to 11:15. Now I've got to minus 37 minutes. And I'm not necessarily going to go ahead and subtract 37 minutes here. I'm going to only subtract 15 minutes. And that's going to take me to 11. Now, I know that 37 minus 15 is going to give me 22. So I've got to take 22 minutes off again. So I'm going to subtract 22 minutes from 11 o'clock, and I'm going to get 10:38 a.m. So 10:38 a.m. is my time. Okay, and then let's do these last two here. So again, we have a lapse time. We have our end time here. So we're going to start at 5:30. And we can do this either way. Here we could take away the minutes first. We could take away the hours first. I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to take away the minutes. If they try to trick us, remember, 1/4 hour equals 15 minutes. So 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm going to subtract 15 minutes. So 5:30 minus 15 minutes would be 5:15. Now I'm going to subtract 1 hour, and that's going to give me 4:15. Now I'm going to subtract my last hour, and that's going to give me 3:15. So 3:15 p.m. And then lastly, we have a start time, and we have how much time has gone past. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. I'm going to start at 7:41, and I have to end at 8:50. Now, can I fit an hour in, right? So 7:41 plus 1 hour is going to be 8:41. So I can. So I'm going to add an hour, and it's going to get me to 8:41. Now, I've got to figure out, can I add another hour from 8:41 to 8:50? No, I cannot. Uh, but I can't add minutes. I'm at 41 and I need to end at 50. So I have to figure out how many minutes are from 41 to 50, and that's 9. So I'm going to add 9 minutes, and that puts me at 8:50. So this is going, I look over here and I add all this up, and I have 1 hour, 9 minutes. All right, guys, I'm actually going to skip this last question. You guys don't need to do this, but here's what you need to do. You need to follow along with the rest. If there's practice, do your practice. You will also need to remember you can use a calculator on your fluency. You can use a calculator on your fluency to help you. I just warn you, if you're doing hours and minutes, again, it's going to be really hard because the what I would use hours and minutes for is this. Like if you have something like 540 minutes and you need to divide it by 60, I would do 6, or let's say 550. What I would do is how many times does 60 go into 550, and it would tell you 9. I would figure that out, and then I would do 60 times 9 would give me 540, and then I still subtract, because you're going to get a weird decimals, and these decimals don't line up with time systems because time systems are on base 10, or our normal system of what this division is on base 10. So please remember that. If you guys need to go back and watch this video, do it. Hopefully this helps, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you.